Hello, in this short video I am going to talk you through how you can find information about specific chemicals using Scopus. Now I know that there are other databases that you can use to find specific information about chemicals as well, but in this case I want to show you how you can use Scopus for that as well. For the purpose of this video I am interested in how a certain surfactant, CPC, cetylpyridinium chloride, interacts with benzoic acid or benzoate in aqueous solutions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find articles where those two chemicals are used together. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to search for documents that mention CPC, the common abbreviation of this particular surfactant, in my Scopus interface under article titles, abstracts and keywords. So if I press search, what I get after a few seconds is 15,000, more than 15,000 results. I'm probably not going to be overly happy with this, and quite quickly when I start looking at the hits that I find, I realize that I've made a mistake here, because it looks as if CPC is a very common abbreviation. So this is not a good way to actually look for CPC or for articles on CPC. Okay, so I'm going to change this and then I am going to focus in particular on a strategy that you may not have come across in Scopus, and that is to look for CAS numbers. And you can look for CAS numbers by ticking this box instead of looking in the article title, abstracts and keywords. We're going to scroll almost all the way to the bottom and we're going to look for CAS number. And CAS numbers, of course, are unique numbers that identify certain chemicals. So if I do that, I happen to have written down the CAS number from the bottle of the chemical compound when I used it in the lab. And the CAS number on the bottle is this number over here. So let's see what happens if I look for this particular CAS number. And actually what happens is that I find absolutely nothing. That is surprising because it's quite a common surfactant. So I should really have found something. And we'll get back to what has happened here later on. But for the time being, we're going to give up on looking for the CAS number. And what we'll do is we'll scroll back and we'll go for the article title, abstract, keywords, etc. And I'm now going to type in part of the name of the surfactant, pyridinium, and I'm going to see what happens if I just type in part of the name of the surfactant. What I get now is 4,000 results. That's a lot better than the 15,000 that I got before. And I also see some information on some ion pairs, and that's, to be honest, what I'm looking for when I look at the interaction with the benzoate as well. So I'm going to have a quick look to see what is happening over here. Okay, so this is where my keyword appears. Seems a relatively interesting paper, but what I see as well is I see the chemical structures over here. So let me actually see what details I can get. And what I can get is a CAS number. But this CAS number is not the CAS number that I thought my compound had, because this is not what it said on my bottle. So let's actually see what has happened here. So I'm going to take this particular CAS number and I'm now going to check in ChemDraw in an add-in. I happen to know that exists. I can enter a CAS number and I can see the compound that corresponds to. Well, that's actually the compound that I want. Okay, so what is happening with with that other compound? So why did I find a different CAS number on my bottle? So let me have a look at that as well. So the CAS number that I'd written down in the lab was this one, and let's see what that corresponds to. And now I realize what has happened. This CAS number corresponds to the monohydrate of this surfactant, and all the articles seem to actually refer to the compound without the hydrate in the CAS number. So, okay, this is a this is a good CAS number for this compound as well. The one that I had written down from the bottle of the compound that I had in the lab clearly was the monohydrate, and that is why I didn't find anything in my first search. So I'll go back here. I've copied this CAS number, go back over here, and I am going to edit my search. So what I'm going to do now is, instead of the name cetalpyridinium, I am going to look for the CAS number again, and if I search now, what I find is 2000 documents. The reason that I find fewer documents now is that I'm now specifically looking for cetalpyridinium chloride, and if I only look for cetalpyridinium, I could also find cetalpyridinium bromide, tosylate, all kinds of other anions associated with that. Okay, so this is going well. Let me now go back to my search, because what I was really interested in is what this surfactant is going to do in interactions with benzoate. So I'm going to add a search field, and I'm going to leave that set to the standard settings, and I am just going to type in benzoate and see what happens if I do that. And now I have 19 documents, and if I scroll through the titles, so you'll see the word mouthwashes come up quite a few times, and that's because cetalpyridinium chloride is used in several commercially available mouthwashes. What we also see is the article that I was looking for, or the information that I was looking for, and that's aggregation and absorption behavior of cetalpyridinium chloride in aqueous sodium salicylate and sodium benzoate solutions. So this solution, I can have a quick click on here to confirm that this is really what I'm interested in, and I see that they are talking about CMCs, the effect of benzoate on the CMC. This is definitely the type of paper that I'm looking for. So if I could then go back, not only have I found the paper that gives me the information that I was after, I also see that this paper has been cited 42 times already. So I can also do a search. I can find out for whom else this was useful information, and I can then also start to scroll through this information, through these papers, to see whether there are further articles that I might be interested in as well. All right, so the key take-home message from this video is that you can actually search in Scopus using lots of different terms, different keywords, but that, especially for chemists, includes the very interesting CAS number over here. So I hope you find this video interesting. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you in another one. Bye.